Former Baltimore Ravens player Ray Rice made his first public appearance since a video showing him punching his wife had surfaced. He attended a football game at his old high school this weekend along with his wife and their daughter. The school has since removed Rice's jersey from its wall of fame, but the team's coach spoke out in support of Rice.
20 seconds or 30 seconds of a bad decision has in fact affected this young man's life forever, and they need to think before they act. So I think my kids are getting great lessons in terms of making a mistake, admitting it, not repeating it, and learning from it. So what better lesson to learn from an NFL superstar?
And the NFL has suspended Rice indefinitely. Domestic violence by pro football players is coming under new focus this week after the release of that video involving the star Ravens running back Ray Rice, followed by the fumbled response by the NFL. 14 NFL players were arrested in the past 2 years charged with domestic abuse. We want to move this conversation forward and start to talk about what can be done to curb domestic violence. Joining us this morning is Karen Harold, conflict resolution specialist. Thank you so much for being with us this morning.
Thank you very much.
A big topic here, a lot that we can talk about.
Of course.
Let's try to narrow it down and concentrate on some areas. Let's start with sports and domestic violence. I want to show you some statistics here. The CDC reporting 1 in 4 women and 1 in 7 men aged 18 and older in the United States has been a victim of severe physical violence by an intimate partner in their lifetime. And the rate is really no different for pro sports. It just seems like right now we're seeing a lot of abuse in pro sports because it's being brought to the public eye.
Absolutely. And because it's being brought to the public eye, I think a lot of people don't realize how prevalent it is across the United States. And domestic violence affects all levels of society, socioeconomic, culture, race. So what's happening right now is really no different than what's going on across the United States every single day.
A lot of people are paying attention to this, including lawmakers as well. 16 female senators putting pressure on the NFL. We're just seeing this to adopt a zero-tolerance domestic violence policy. Tell us, Karen, in your opinion, is this the right reaction? Will this help?
Well, they're saying zero tolerance and actually enforcing zero tolerance are two different things. What's happening and what we've noticed with the NFL is that there has been a fumbled response, mixed messages that are being sent, and there's not accountability across the board. So when you say zero tolerance, it means that there is accountability for that batterer. There are consequences for that behavior, including law enforcement response and appropriate support for the victim.
Certainly a lot of challenges in dealing with this.
Yes.
One of the challenges that we saw in the Ray Rice case is that the victim was his wife. She did not come forward and press charges. The victim did not press charges.
Yes.
Is that one of the challenges?
Absolutely. That is something that we see that is common. There are many reasons that victims don't want to press charges against their batterer, and it may be fear from further retaliation. It may be concern for themselves and their children, and basically exposing that to the public and letting people know what's actually going on.
Some organizational issues we have to deal with as well. A couple years ago, when Chris Brown hit his then girlfriend Rihanna, we didn't see people calling the music industry, telling them to take him off the air. Now we're seeing in this situation with the NFL, is part of the solution getting the organization to address the issue? We saw here more than 50 players accused of domestic violence just under NFL Commissioner Roger Goodell's watch. Does the NFL have an obligation to take a stand here?
Yes, this is a perfect opportunity for the NFL to take a firm stance on domestic violence and a zero tolerance policy. The NFL, just like so many other organizations, really need to understand that domestic violence, just like sexual harassment, should be placed under the umbrella of a workplace violence prevention policy. Now, while organizations don't want to monitor behavior from their employees when they're not working, this is something that has to be addressed in every single organization. Training, education, and information needs to go across the board to every employee.
And timing couldn't be better, as next month is National Domestic Abuse Month.
Yes.
Doing a lot to draw awareness to this important issue. Karen Harold, conflict resolution specialist, thank you so much for being with us.
Thank you so much for having me.
And stay with us. We will be right back.